Hello and good day, guys. This is a new video on how to create your first Flutter app. Let's say how to create your first app using Flutter. Okay. At the end of this video, you will understand and know how to create your first app using Flutter. In the previous video, we talked about what is Flutter and why use Flutter, the importance of using Flutter, responsiveness, its ability to to be integrated in Google services and more. And we also talked about how to get started with it, meaning you have to download JIT. Depending on your device, like this. You go to jit/scm.com and you choose which particular version you prefer you for your machine. So again, we talked about you have to download for those using Windows. Since I'm using Windows, I have to download Android Studio. So you have to go to developers.android.com/studio, and then you download this. You scroll down and you get to this and you download this. You click on it, you agree to the terms and you click download. Since I have it, I won't be downloading it again, but if you have problems with it, you can also send a DM and we'll see it together. So after you must have downloaded JIT and the Android Studio code, which looks like this. Okay, after you must download it, it's something like this. Okay, we'll come back to while we need it, but we will be using Visual Studio Code, which I will show you in a moment. Okay, so what next after we must have gotten these two important tools? Okay, after we must we create a folder or where we want the app to be. It can be in our root folder, it can be on our desktop. Okay, then you do what? You just have to type Flutter create. Okay, remember you must have downloaded Flutter. Okay, you must have downloaded Flutter in your app. That is, you go to flutter.dev. Okay, you scroll down. I don't know why my system is slow this period. Okay, you scroll down. You scroll down and you see install. Okay, you install it once for Windows. As since I'm using Windows, you can install Mac. If you're using Mac, you can install Linux for Linux. Okay, and for Chrome. So I'm using Windows, and what are we doing? Well, I want to develop an Android. We want to develop Android app. Okay, then you see where it's stated JIT for Windows Android Studio. Okay, you see it. Then you have to see it here. Okay, this is it. Since we have to do this. Okay, to install Flutter using these instructions, verify that you have installed Visual Studio Code and the Flutter extension VS Code. Okay, so this extension VS Code, we will also see it. Okay, then launch the VS Code. To open the command, press this. Okay, all this we will see it in a moment, which I don't want to make things complicated for you guys. Okay, so let's go back to the slide. So there is, after that we type Flutter run, and we have just created our first ever app. So in this particular in this particular video, we'll be creating an app called Lesson, and at the end of everything, we will see our app named as Lesson. Okay, good. Okay, so what am I going to do now? I have to go to Git, which is this. As I said earlier, you go to Git and download Git. Okay, and now I'm in my root folder. No, in my folder where I want to create the app. Okay, now let's say you just say cd. Let's go to the desktop where we want to create. Now we are inside the desktop. Okay, then what next? We want to create the app called Lesson, remember? Okay, let me put it here. Remember, we want to create the app called Lesson. We just say as I said, we just say Flutter create. Now the name, you can name whatever you want to name your own, but in this one I will name it Lesson. Okay, you see Flutter create Lesson. You see now it will, you see it's creating project Lesson. Now it has finished creating it. All done. You can find general documents for Flutter or get. Now you can see here it said cd lesson. That is, it wants you to enter into lesson and then Flutter on. Okay, now we'll say cd lesson. Okay, so we enter. Now we are inside lesson. Then we'll say we now say okay. Okay, to open the code, let's say we say code this. That is, if you want on Git, if you want to open your code editor, you do like this. Now you see the code editor is, since I'm using Visual Studio Code, the code editor is now open. Okay, shows up something like this. All this, we neglect all this, neglect all this. Now this is the Flutter. This is what it created, and look at the lesson here. Remember, let me enlarge it a bit so you can see it better. You see it's lesson, it created lesson, then it created all these files, all these folders inside here, which now we want to be talking about. Okay, then your app is here inside the lib, which is the main.dat. Remember, in our first video we said that Flutter is a UI framework, but is powered by that. Now this is the dat. Okay, this both everything is inside here, so all this we'll discuss it gradually. Here we have the main, which runs your app. You get, runs your app, which officially it gave it a name, my app, but is not. Okay, but you don't need to worry about all this for now. Then this is, it gave you it's just give you a startup app. Let's call it a startup app that shows all this. We will soon remove them. Okay, and then we will see how we can now continue by creating your own personal app. Okay, now this visual, to open the terminal, you just click on this and you see your terminal is open here. Okay, now since your terminal is open, then the next thing, remember I said we should run Flutter run. Okay, now you see it's running it. Okay, now you said choose which one we want to run it on. You can see what he said here. Since we said the Flutter run, it now asked us how do we want it. Okay, but now we don't have any connected device. Okay, so in our next video we'll talk about Android Studio Code and how you can connect your device to it so that you can view your application. Okay, thank you guys.